Hello and welcome to the latest edition of the Health and Safety Matters podcast. My name's Mark Sennett. I'm the CEO of Western Business Media, which is the publisher of Health and Safety Matters. And as always, we are proud to have this podcast sponsored by the Health and Safety event, and that is coming up on us fast now. It takes place on the 8th to 10th of April in 2025 at the NEC in Birmingham. It's the sector's biggest annual exhibition. It's co-located with the fire safety event and the security event and the workplace event. If you register for free at healthandsafetyevent.com or throw into a search engine Health and Safety Event, you can have free access to all of those other shows as well. So huge thanks to the Health and Safety Event for continuing to sponsor this podcast. Now, you do not need to wait for this podcast to come out to get all of the latest news in the health and safety sector. No, you can go to our website on a daily basis, and that is hsmsearch.com, or throw into a search engine Health and Safety Matters, and up we come. Why go to the website? Well, you see all the latest news, prosecutions and product services and industry analysis, all updated daily on the website. You can see digital editions of our magazines. You can also sign up for free to get copies of our magazines, including the BSIF UK Guide to Health and Safety. You can also sign up to any of our upcoming webinars, look at our past webinars, sign up to our twice-a-week e-newsletter as well. There is so much to do on there, and all the latest podcast episodes are pushed through there as well. So go to hsmsearch.com or throw into search engine Health and Safety Matters, and up we come. Or you can follow us on X, or you can follow us on LinkedIn, and we push all of the key news through there as well. Now, speaking of news, that is always how we start the podcast. And on this episode, I want to start off, quite often we do this the same way as well, and that is about PPE. It's a key thing, and we're fully supportive of the Registered Safety Supplier Scheme, which is obviously managed by the British Safety Industry Federation, who are our key partners. So the BSIF, they're actually urging buyers and wearers of PPE to review their PPE stock and replace old and damaged items after a member survey showed outdated and poorly maintained PPE is in use across UK workplaces. So the survey of BSIF members, which is made up of manufacturers and distributors of PPE who frequently visit workplaces across the UK, highlighted the prevalence of substandard products in use in some British workplaces. The findings emphasise the urgent need for employers and workers to prioritise PPE evaluation and renewal as they prepare for the year ahead. So this survey highlights a worrying trend, the BSIF say, in the state of the PPE market and safety equipment across industries. So examples include high-vis not being visible, damaged helmets, ripped clothing, and defunct respiratory protection. Other insights from the survey showed cost over compliance being an issue, so respondents noted that buyers often prioritise costs over fit and performance, and then of course the age-old issue here of misuse and poor fit. So issues like workers wearing PPE incorrectly, such as helmets dangling loosely or gloves not being secured properly, and these obviously pose significant risks to their effectiveness. So this is a really interesting survey the BSIF do quite regularly, but the key message here is make sure you check your stock that you've got of your PPE, that it is still in proper suitable condition to be used. Make sure that your staff are properly trained in how to use these protective equipment properly, how to wear them properly. So these are things that do come up time and time again, and it's something that BSIF really work hard on, and so does RSSS. So commenting on the findings of the survey, BSIF CEO Alan Murray said, "It's not enough for PPE to simply meet basic standards. It must be maintained and fit for purpose at all times to ensure worker safety." As one of the survey respondents highlighted, the misconception that any PPE is good enough is a dangerous mindset that leads to preventable injuries. As 2025 got underway, the BSIF has called on all organisations to make a New Year's resolution to thoroughly review and refresh their PPE stock. So that's something that we completely support Alan and the BSIF team in that message. So as I said earlier, do check your stock, make sure it is still fit for purpose. So you can see more about that story on our website, hsmsearch.com. Go into our website and just throw into the search engine on the website, BSIF urges businesses to review PPE stock, and that one will come up. Right, what else have we got for you? Right, we've got a story here from IOSH. So that's obviously the Institution of Occupational Safety and Health is calling on the government to ensure gig economy workers have the same employment rights and health and safety protections as those in more secure jobs. In a new white paper, IOSH has shone a light on the disadvantages faced by platform workers in the gig economy, and also the government to look for alternatives to 0 hours contracts. So the paper, which is titled A Platform for Success, Building a Better Future in the Gig Economy, highlights how an estimated 1.7 million people make up the UK's gig workforce last year, a figure predicted to grow by more than 300% by 2027. So, talking on this, IOSH has said, despite 1 in 5 gig workers saying this was their main source of income, over 1,000 people took part in this survey, and what it showed was that 58% experienced unpredictable income. The same number said gig work made it difficult to care for dependents, while 54% had low levels of job security. So in this white paper, there's a number of things that IOSH wants the government to take action on, including introducing legislation which entitles gig and platform workers to the same rights as other employees, proactively enforcing employment and occupational safety and health protections for gig and platform workers through an adequate system of inspection, seeking other options to 0 hours contracts, providing legal assurance regarding labour protections, including insurance against work-related injuries and occupational diseases, and finally, implementing regulations that facilitate gig and platform workers to raise a complaint about more treatment and conditions. So, IOSH has commented on this. Ruth Wilkinson, who is the head of public affairs at IOSH, said many of those who currently work in the gig economy benefit from the flexibility it offers and the opportunities for a good work-life balance. However, there are many drawbacks which overshadow these perks, ones of which pose risks to the safety and health and well-being and are inconsistent with decent work standards and principles. The absence of social protections and provisions in this type of work, for example, the right to be paid sickness absence, can lead to issues such as people working while too ill to do so or experiencing health impacts from not having any time off and resulting in fatigue and burnout. So you can actually see this white paper in its full on our website, again, hsmsearch.com, or throw into a search engine, Health and Safety Matters. And if you go to the search box on our website and just type IOSH gig workers, then that will come up. So other things I want to talk to you about now, still on some good news. The shortlist for the Safety and Health Excellence Awards 2025 have been announced. We had a record amount of entries, more than 360 entries this year. Thank you so much to all of you who took the time to enter. The shortlist is up on our website. I'm not going to go through it all here now. The website is she-awards.com, or throw into a search engine Safety and Health Excellence Awards, and up will come the shortlist. But, you know, it's one of my favourite nights of the year. We've sold out the last 3 years in a row. We've already sold 50% of the tickets. If you have entered and are shortlisted, please do come. It takes place on the 9th of April at the Vox at Resorts World at the NEC in Birmingham. That is the middle night of the health and safety event that runs for 3 days there. So it is the sector's biggest night of networking. So it's a fantastic evening. It is hosted this year by well-known comedian Jason Manford. We've got lots of entertainment in store, everything from magic acts to dance floor, bands, photo booth and props, casino tables, obviously Jason Manford's comedy, the awards themselves, big drinks reception beforehand, and obviously the after party that's there too. Fantastic 3-course meal as well. So tickets are selling fast. Please do come and join us, and that is she-awards.com, or throw into search engine Safety and Health Excellence Awards. So I hope you can join all of us on the night. It is a fantastic evening. Now, another interesting bit of news out of the sector, and one that, you know, I previous life I've had attachment to, is Informa has announced the decision to retire, as they're calling it, Anticipate London. Now, many of you won't necessarily know the name Anticipate London. It only ran once under that guise. You'll be far more familiar for what the show was called beforehand, which was Safety and Health Expo. It ran for nearly 3 decades, and that was the facilities show as well, and IFSEC on the security side, and FireX. So they're not going to run again. They've been taking place for the last few years at Excel in London. And yeah, the Informa have taken the unsurprising decision, to be honest, to retire, and also to retire SHP, Safety and Health Practitioner, which is a competitor of mine in terms of a website you could have gone to for health and safety news. I actually had my first job in the health and safety sector working on SHP and working on Safety and Health Expo. And I had a wonderful time there back in the day working for what was then UBM Live that owned it. It was still a printed publication back then. It was still IOSH's official publication back in the day when I was on it. And the show was a gargantuan. It was my real first induction into the health and safety world. I feel very sorry for the staff that have been let go from there. It's a real shame. Anyone that has been over the previous years has seen the show shrinking and shrinking and shrinking. It's not a surprise that this has happened, but it's certainly, sad that it's got to this stage. And Informa, who owns the event now, released a statement saying, "To our valued Anticipate, IFSEC Fire Act and Safety and Health Expo facility show and Safety and Health Practitioner customers, we would like to take this moment to thank you for being an essential part of Anticipate and its related events. You've helped us to create many memorable moments over the last 50 years, and we thank you for your continued support. While this chapter comes to a close, we look forward to continuing working together in new and exciting ways." Whatever that may mean, we've done a full story on this. The last time it ran was the 2nd to 4th of December. That was probably the death knell for it, moving it to December. It was a shadow of its former self across all of it. And of course now, the dominant show in the sector as a major exhibition is the health and safety event, which is at the NEC in Birmingham. In fact, that event went there the second that Safety and Health Expo moved out of it several years ago, and one has really, really grown into market dominance now, and that is the health and safety event. So, some interesting and sad news coming out about that, but as I said, not at all surprising if I'm completely honest. Now, while we're talking about events, I'm delighted to say that registration is now open for our own event, Health and Safety Matters Live in Coventry, which takes place on the 4th of June 2025 at the Coventry Building Society Arena. We ran it for the first time in Coventry last year. We had over 500 people there. Obviously, many of you are familiar that we've been doing for 2 or 3 years now in Scotland as well. But this is our Central England event. It has the highest attendance of all the ones that we do. It is a great day of networking, and it's completely free. It's free parking, it's free lunch, it's free teas and coffees, free Wi-Fi, free cloakroom. Everything is free for the delegate, and there is multiple CPD seminars. You do get a CPD certificate for attending. We have got the Health and Safety Executive doing the opening address, their chair, Sarah Newton, and there's about 10 other sessions on as well, including sessions on PPE Saves Lives by Alan Murray of the BSIF. We've got another session from the Health and Safety Executive on noise and hearing loss in the industry. We have got a great session by Simon Turner on how to create good practice during driving for work policies. We have got a session from legal experts at DAC Beechcroft, leading lawyers there. Rhiann Greaves is going to talk about an update to health and safety legislation. And then they're going to do the very popular mock trial that will go on afterwards, where you, as the audience, will actually be the jury for that. And it's based on a real-life prosecution. You listen to it, you see it all act out in wigs and gowns. It's great fun, and it has a real meaning to it. You'll vote guilty or not guilty, and then at the end, Rhiann and her team will actually explain what happened in the real case, whether it was guilty or not guilty, and she'll explain why. We've got plenty of other great sessions on there as well, including protecting workers from noise exposure. So please do come along on the 4th of June at the Coventry Building Society Arena. Completely free to attend. It's 8:30 in the morning, doors open, and it's all done by about 4 p.m. You can come for any or all of it. Please do come for as much as you can. And you can register for free at hsmlive.co.uk. That's hsmlive.co.uk. Or just search on a search engine, Health and Safety Matters Live. So, it's got an exhibition of over 40 of the leading brands in the sector. So when you're having free lunch and tea and coffee, you'll be able to browse the exhibition area as well. We've got some fantastic brands in there. Obviously, associations like BSIF are there, and the Health and Safety Executive are on hand as well, and Driving for Better Business. But, we've got Blackline Safety in there. We've got Casella. We've got DuPont. We've actually got the law firm DAC Beechcroft exhibiting in there. We've got Eco Online. We've got JSP. We've got Kimberly Clark. We've got Moldex, Minuendo, NEBOSH. And NEBOSH will actually be doing their own conference there that day as well. We have got SafeLinks, we've got Resmar, we have got the Safety Knife Company, we've got Zone Safe, Troax, WL Gore, and many, many more in there. So do come along as your latest health and safety products and services on that. And it's also a great chance to network with your colleagues. As I said, free tea and coffee and lunch in that area. You get to meet people in there that are your peers in the sector. So please do come along. It would be great to see you there. Come and see me on the front desk. And please give me your feedback on the podcast. Please give me your feedback on the magazine and the event, anything that we do. I'm always keen to hear from you. So come and join us 4th of June for free for Health and Safety Matters Live in Coventry at the Coventry Building Society Arena. Free registration, hsmlive.co.uk. So that is the news covered for on this episode of the podcast, and it's at this point where I tell you who my guest is for this episode of the podcast. And it is none other than Peter Smart, who is the category director at Cromwell. So I sat down with Peter earlier, and I'm sure many of you are familiar with the Cromwell brand, but actually Peter tells me that often they see themselves as the hidden gem in terms, or the hidden secret in the PPE supplying sector. And he tells me all about what plans they've got and what they've been up to. So I sat down with Peter earlier on, and here's what he had to say. Morning, Peter. How are you?
Morning, Mark. Yeah, I'm good. Not too bad. Yourself?
Yeah, good. Great to see you. Don't know about you. It's half-term week as we do this, so we've got kids running around everywhere. So perfect time to do a podcast, right?
Yeah, why not? No, it's a busy one, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. And it's a busy time of year for you. Obviously, you're from Cromwell. So most people are familiar with Cromwell. Well, we did talk about off-air that perhaps, in the past, you've been like the hidden secret of the health and safety market. So for those that may not be aware of Cromwell in the UK, can you tell us a bit more about what you do?
Yeah, for sure. So Cromwell's been established just over 50 years in the UK. We're a pretty large distributor of safety products and tools. So everything really to keep a business running and keep their people safe. So we have a network of branches in the UK, but we also sell a lot of products online. And we have our own exclusive brands that we develop for customers as well. Things like Halo and Kennedy that some people may have heard of. So yeah, we feel, I think, like we're perhaps a bit of a secret as well. So, it's nice to be able to sort of talk about what we do.
And on that, you're really a complete head-to-toe provider of health and safety solutions, aren't you? I mean, there's not really anything that you don't distribute out.
No, that's right. So from a safety perspective, or maybe a PPE perspective, we literally are head to toe and everything in the middle. But we also have things like value-added services there. So we'll do things like prescription eyewear. We can do site surveys, site audits. We'll do footwear scanning services to make sure people have got exactly the right footwear. We've got custom embroidery and workwear divisions. So yeah, everything again to keep people protected, really, from a safety perspective, for sure.
Well, you managed to very kindly kit out my team and my staff when events. We've got Cromwell jackets that my friends always take the mick out of me because I'm forever wearing the jacket you give me. Anything with my name and company logo on, and obviously the Cromwell logo, I'm all over it.
Yeah, no, that was a fun job actually, because I think it was something like 17 different logos and different colours, and but yeah, no, it's a pleasure to be able to kit you and your team out last year. Yeah.
Well, you'll see it at the health and safety event as well, because certainly on the build day we're around doing and our own events. Fun enough, Health and Safety Matters Live in Coventry. That you will definitely see me on the front desk wearing one because it's blooming cold in Coventry. I've always got that jacket on. But one thing I was going to say, you talk about the health and safety side. with PPE, we work closely with the British Safety Industry Federation, and obviously RSSS is a key part of that. And that's something that you signed up to, isn't it?
Yeah, so Cromwell's been associated with the BSIF for a number of years, and we signed up to the RSSS scheme. Personally, I actually sit on the board of the BSIF as well, so it's really important to us to make sure that we're keeping up to date with industry, with best practice, and customers know that they're buying quality compliant products. So yeah, it's something that's really important for us.
And you're a key part of our awards, the Safety and Health Excellence Awards. You're a sponsor, and in a completely separate category, you've been shortlisted by the Judges Distributor of the Year. So congratulations!
Thank you. Yeah.
Well deserved, and you always enter the BSIF awards that are part of this as well. The question I've got for you is, and you said this to me off air, not prompted. Awards are a big deal to you as a company. So why is that? Why is it that you were so keen to partner in awards? Why did you enter the awards and things like that?
Yeah, it's not a vanity thing. It's not about having an award or winning an award. It's about we sponsor the Woman of the Year at the Safety Awards, and for us, it was really important. And one of the reasons we developed our Halo brand a few years ago was we just felt that, probably no secret, the industry is a little bit behind, and perhaps things like PPE were developed mainly around average sized people and typically men. So we feel we kind of wanted to rip the rule book up a few years ago, launch our new range in October 22. So that sponsoring that award gives us a really good opportunity to shout about all the great stuff that women do in the safety world. So that's important. And we're sponsoring the keynote theatre as well at the show this year. I think, again, as we said before, because we're perhaps a bit of a best kept secret, we feel we've got some great talent and content and information to share with people to help them keep their operations and their people safe. So sponsoring, being more visible, being known perhaps a little bit more for safety. We proudly won Safety Distributor of the Year last year. I can't tell you how much of a big deal that was for us, because it really just brings to life all the really hard work that everyone does in our business and has done for years. So it's about being more visible, being perhaps known more for safety and all the things we do.
And it's that time of year where I know you're flat out at the moment. And what is keeping you guys busy there at the moment?
Yeah, we are. We're at the show. We're exhibiting at the Safety Show in 3 weeks, so 8th, 9th, 10th of April. So as you can imagine with that, we're really flat out working on the final pieces of the stand for the show. We've got a bigger stand this year so that we can bring to life a lot of the services we offer rather than here's just our products that we distribute. So come along to the stand, because you'll see a lot more about services and product. Stand's keeping us busy. We're also finalising our new Safety First magazine, which we produce twice a year. And that's got a real mixture of, it's got some products in it, but it's also got a lot of helpful information, legislation updates. And we've written a nice piece around how AI can help in the safety world as well. So we're trying to bring a bit of thought leadership through that. And then I think it's kind of business as usual, but we're always working on our safety ranges, making sure we've got everything customers need, making sure it's easy to find and buy, whether it's online or through our sales team or through a branch. So always developing ranges, always working with our supply partners to make sure we've got what our customers are looking for.
And we like to do this on the podcast. Tell us a bit more about your background in the market. Where were you before Cromwell? When did you join the business?
Yeah, so this will be my 5th year. I'll be 5 years at Cromwell in June. So I've been, I'd say, in the safety space about 25 years. I've worked in a few distributor businesses and a couple of manufacturer businesses, predominantly around, always in areas like category leadership. So really making sure we have the right products, the right services, understanding what customers want, and then developing the business to serve that. So predominantly buying, marketing, commercial, range, products, services, that kind of stuff. Yeah.
And, the all-important call to action now, Peter, obviously you're a very much trusted distributor in the sector. You've got your own product ranges as well, which you've talked about. You're committed to RSSS, so that's why we're keen with BSIF to promote you, and that's one of the key reasons we've got you on today. But if people want to look at head-to-toe solutions, as we said, that they can get from you, or custom embroidery or eyewear, what's the best way to get in touch with Cromwell and have a look at what you've got?
Yeah, so I would say go straight to our website, cromwell.co.uk. All the information is on there. We have a bunch of branches, so there's a branch network if somebody wants to call in. But either give us a call or drop us an email, and we'll be in touch straight away. But all the information's on our website.
And if anyone wants to get in touch with you directly on the back of this, are you active on LinkedIn?
I am, yeah.
So
absolutely.
Just find you on Peter Smart and Cromwell.
Yeah,
throw
Peter
that
Smart
in there.
At Cromwell, there's only one. There's only me. So yeah, absolutely, it'd be a pleasure if anybody wants to reach out. Yeah.
Well, it's been a pleasure having you on. Thanks for making time for us, Peter. We really appreciate it.
Thank you, Mark. Pleasure. I look forward to seeing you in about 3 weeks.
And that's all we've got time for on this episode of the Health and Safety Matters podcast. As I say, you can go to our website at any time. You don't have to wait for this podcast, see all the latest news, prosecutions, products and service analysis of the UK health and safety sector. You just need to go to www.hsmsearch.com or throw into a search engine Health and Safety Matters. Go on to the website and you can click on the webinars tab to sign up for any of our upcoming webinars or watch all of our past ones on demand too. You can see our archive of digital editions of the magazines. Sign up to get copies of Health and Safety Matters or the annual BSIF guide or the annual PPE Insights guide completely for free on there. Or you can sign up to get our twice a week e-newsletter so you can have all of the latest sector headlines pushed straight through to your inbox on a Monday and a Wednesday. You can of course follow us on X and on LinkedIn. Please do give us a review and hopefully a 5-star rating, whatever podcast platform that you use. And as I said, once again, thanks to the Health and Safety event for sponsoring this podcast as always. And they take place on the 8th to the 10th of April at the NEC in Birmingham. It's completely free to attend, and if you register you also get access to the fire safety event, the workplace event and the security event. All you have to do is go to www.healthandsafetyevent.com or throw into a search engine Health and Safety Event and register for what is the UK's biggest health and safety exhibition over 3 days. So I'll be there. We'll have a stand there for Health and Safety Matters. We are the lead media partner of the event, so very much hope to see you there on the 8th to the 10th of April. Hope also to see you at the Safety and Health Excellence Awards in the middle of the night of that on the 9th of April. If you haven't got your tickets, please do so before they go. That is at she-awards.com. And if you can't make any of that, do come to our own conference and exhibition, which takes place on the 4th of June, which is Health and Safety Matters Live at the Coventry Building Society Arena, hsmlive.co.uk to register for free to that one. But that's all we've got time for on this edition of the podcast. Thank you for joining us, and I look forward to seeing you on the next episode of the Health and Safety Matters podcast.